everybody, this is Ray from Classic Game Room, and on August 24th, I had the distinct pleasure of talking with TUNG. You may be wondering who Joe is. Joe is the executive producer for one of the most highly anticipated titles of 2010, Halo Reach. Hey everybody, this is Ray Carcelo, and I have the distinct pleasure now of talking with TUNG, who is the executive producer for Halo Reach. Joe, how you doing today?
Excellent.
Joe, we are almost at the point where Reach is about to launch, and I guess the first question is how exciting is it for you guys to know that we're only a couple of weeks away from this hitting store shelves?
It's extremely exciting. Yeah, you know, it's great after putting in all the long hours that the team put in to finally be showing the game off to people, and we couldn't be more excited for September 14th.
Speaking of showing it off, we've actually been sitting here playing through the final build of Halo Reach, and I've gotten up to the tip of the spear level, and the most amazing thing is how many experiences you've been able to fit into this one game, which all these experiences equal one major experience, of course. Talk about how you guys wanted to focus in on each level being a special little experience.
Well, we definitely took a different approach to the campaign this time around. You know, in previous games, we've sort of been locked into maybe having to tell a particular story, and that sort of necessitated certain missions. And with Reach, we really wanted to sort of throw the craziest ideas for missions we've always wanted to make at the wall, be a little bit more flexible about the story, and sort of fit the story in later as the missions came into focus during pre-production. So it really is sort of an amalgamation of the most ambitious mission ideas that the design team had, and it's really exciting. I think it works really well, and it's a really excellent campaign.
Was it hard fitting into these missions, this story? You know that Reach has to fall. Everyone knows that Reach will fall. So was it hard fitting that into the story and still making it an entertaining and fun game?
It was definitely a challenge, right? I mean, you know, sort of not only that, but knowing that a lot of the fans will sort of know the ending of the game to a certain extent was definitely a challenge. But it actually all fell into place relatively early on. If you go back and look at the plans for the game early as pre-production, all that framework was all there, and we really stuck to it. The vision really stayed consistent throughout the entire project, and can't wait for people to experience it all.
Very cool. Now, of course, in the first Halo games, you play as Master Chief, and then in ODST, you play as the rookie. In this game, you play as another rookie, or at least a new member to the Noble team. Talk about how it was to try and come up with this character, and how to build Noble team around them.
Well, I think from the very beginning, we knew we wanted to introduce the world to a brand new set of Spartans. Noble team fell into place, again, very early on. We spent a lot of time creating their backstory, spent a lot of time making sure that Noble team was going to be as iconic in their own right as Master Chief. So, you know, at the same time, we wanted to give the player a sense of character as well, make him feel like he was part of the team, and tell us a different type of story, a story that followed the team with their boots on the ground. And you know, I think we really accomplished that with Noble Team. They've turned out to be really iconic, as you can see, and great characters to fight alongside in the campaign.
You mentioned that you fight alongside Noble Team. That's obviously very different from the previous Halos. How hard was it to have to develop the AI to make sure that your team didn't do all the work for you, but also where you were carrying them on your back?
It was definitely a major development challenge to strike the right balance with your friendly AI. As you say, you didn't want to have them killing everything for you, but at the same time you wanted to make them feel like they're significant players in the game, and that they're actually worthwhile Spartans fighting shoulder to shoulder with you. So it was absolutely a challenge, but you know, I think as you can see from playing the game, it's balanced really well. You know, they fight shoulder to shoulder with you, appear very intelligent, but at the same time, you know, it's a challenge for the player to fight the campaign all the way through.
Most definitely. Sticking with the being a part of Noble Team, one of the things is that to really help you with this experience of Halo is the customization, how you can customize Noble 6 who you play. Talk about how in-depth the customization is and what inspires you to add this customization feature.
Well, the customization is extremely in-depth. It's many times more. There are many more options than Halo 3, for example. There are many more regions that you can customize, and there are many more permutations per region for the player to customize their Spartan. And this was really important for the team. From the very beginning, again, we knew that we wanted to make player customization a huge part of the game, a huge pillar. We wanted to make sure that no matter what you're doing in the game, whether you're playing Firefight, Campaign, multiplayer, or even messing around in Forge, you're earning credits and you're using those credits to buy armor for your custom Spartan, and then you take that custom Spartan with you wherever you play in the game. It's very important for us to make sure that players who invest their time in the game get rewarded long term. So that was a huge part of the vision for the game.
All right, so I think we've pretty much beaten campaign as much as we can. One of the great things about Halo, though, of course, is always the multiplayer. Talk about the brand new multiplayer here that is included in with this game, as well as the revamped Firefight mode.
Sure. Well, we showed a bit of multiplayer in the beta that happened earlier this year. I think 2.7 million people played the beta, and it was great. It was a really successful test for us. We got lots of great feedback from that, and of course that made the game better in the end. But in the beta, we showed off brand new things brand new features like armor abilities, loadouts, things that actually change the gameplay in multiplayer. We also showed things like Arena, a new wrapper for the people who like to play hardcore 4-on-4 Team Slayer. And we showed new modes like Invasion, where for the very first time you can play Spartans versus Elites, feel like you're a real taking part in the Covenant versus Human War. It's a really ambitious new mode for us, and we're really excited to launch that as well. As for Firefight, Firefight is back in a huge way, and we didn't just want to, sort of repackage it and reship it. We actually made tons of huge improvements to Firefight. So first of all, we're shipping full support for matchmaking for Firefight, which was probably the #1 feature request from ODST. We've added a ton of new modes in Firefight. A couple of my favorites are Generator Defense, where the AI are actually attacking objectives in the map as opposed to just attacking the player. And Versus Mode, where you can actually play as an elite alongside the Covenant, attacking the Spartans. And last but not least, we've added a dizzying array of options in Firefight. So for the very first time, you can go in and you can tweak every single little option about Firefight yourself. If you want to make a game that's all grunts all the time, or all hunters all the time, and they all have 200% health, if you want to create your own loadouts in Firefight, you can do that. And of course, like everything in Halo, once you create that custom game, you can share it with your friends online, and who knows, if it's great, a million people could be playing your version of Firefight.
Very cool. Joe, you asked me before what my favorite part of the game was, but I want to know what your favorite part of the new game is.
That's like asking, which of your kids do you love most? I really do. I think the entire game is really solid, really fun and exciting. I'm sort of a hardcore multiplayer guy, so I'm really looking forward to the 14th, where I can actually play online with the rest of the world and see how my arena rating does. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Awesome, Joe. Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Halo Reach, it drops September 14th for Xbox 360. Well, folks, as you can see, the oxygen sensors here have gone off once again, meaning I have to get the heck out of here. I want to give a special thanks to Joe TUNG once again for giving me the time on August 24th to talk about Halo Reach, which drops everywhere September 14th for Xbox 360. For Classic Game Room, I'm Ray Carcel.